Well, hello, everyone. I'm Adina Marabi, Partnerships Team Lead here at Okendo, and I'd like to welcome you to our Shopping Experiences That Convert webinar. Just a few housekeeping items. Please enter all questions in the chat throughout the presentation. Make sure to send to panelists and attendees or to everyone. Representatives from each of our companies will be in the chat to answer any of your questions live, and you will receive a recording and copy of the presentation within 24 hours of the webinar. Our speakers today include myself, Adnan Shah, Tech Partner Manager at Rebuy, Greg Zakowitz, Senior E-commerce Expert at Omnisend, John Knott, Senior Technology Partner Manager at Tapcart, Gabriella Teagan, CEO and co-founder of Smartrr, Brittany Ho, VP of Account Management at ShoppingGives, and Blake Imperil, VP of Marketing at Carro. Thank you all for being here today. So I'll go ahead and get us kicked off today with Okendo. A little bit about me. As I said, I'm the Partnerships Team Lead here at Okendo. I've been with the company for a little over 2 years, just celebrated my 2 years in June. Before that, I was at Mute 6, the performance marketing agency based in LA. And over at the agency, I was head of strategic partnerships, overseeing all of our tech and agency partners. A little bit about Okendo. We help Shopify brands turn their customers into superfans through reviews, referrals, loyalty, quizzes, and surveys. So we make it easy to cultivate advocacy, scale word of mouth, and maximize your customer lifetime value. What is a superfan and why are they so hard to create? So superfans are customers with a high LTV, are highly engaged with your brand. They often have meaningful social reach and influence, and they're willing to collaborate with you on acquisition activities. Almost every brand, especially anyone during this time of year, has some number of superfans, and you really want to compel your superfans by creating a commerce experience that drives shoppers to become first-time buyers. You want to engage your superfans to deepen those connections and maximize that shared mindset. And lastly, you want to advocate your superfans so you can recruit engaged customers to collaborate on activities that drive customer acquisition. We work with over 8,000 of Shopify's fastest growing D2C brands. And we like to say at Okendo, if you've ever bought anything online, you've probably interacted with Okendo before. So today I'll be covering how to build shopping experiences that convert, retain, and drive customer lifetime value through implementing a product recommendation quiz, showcasing high impact reviews across your website, using data from quizzes and reviews to personalize your communications, and harness your shoppers and your superfans to acquire new shoppers. First tip of the day, implement a quiz. And how do you do that? So with Okendo quizzes, brands see immediate impact. One brand that we work with saw a 17% conversion rate and a 25x ROI within just days of launching a quiz, which is pretty impressive. So I have a short little clip here of what a quiz would look like on the front end. This is our client bed threads, and you can see so many different types of layouts. We have the most customizable widgets on the market. So being able to change layout, template, question type, you can build conditional splits using Okendo quizzes. And the best part is that you can configure your product recommendations to be super tailored for each customer. If your results, if your actual products are pulling reviews, if you're collecting those reviews, they're going to pull into your product recommendations in your results page. So you can see here, someone's taken the quiz, and here's what a results page would look like. So your perfect match, and you can add all items to cart. and you can have the option to take the quiz again. So super powerful having those quizzes on site. So quizzes help increase conversions and sales by delivering those product recommendations. You can offer a fun and interactive guided experience for your shoppers. You can offer personalized product recommendations that help buyers make faster, better purchase decisions. And you can also collect that zero-party data to help power more personalized marketing and drive retention efforts. The second tip I have for you today is showcase high impact reviews. So 99.9% of consumers read reviews while shopping online. It's a pretty high stat. It's very important that you showcase those robust reviews and social proof to increase conversions on site. Here we have an example from our client Scotch Porter. You can see that they're collecting customer attributes, so age range, my beard length, my beard texture. And these customer attributes are a great way to get your new shoppers to align their purchasing decision with someone that has similar characteristics to them. Scotch Porter is also collecting product attributes, so scent, effectiveness, and the feel-good factor. And you can use these product attributes to highlight key selling points of your product or brand without relying on the reviewer to leave that information in the body of the text. You can also ask your customers to leave a photo and video review, and we know UGC helps shoppers convert. Lastly, you want to make sure that you customize your reviews to match the look and feel of your brand. Here's another example from our client Ilya. You can see that they're collecting information from their customers around skin type, skin tone, undertone, concern, and age range. You can also include media galleries like this example from Ilya to showcase that UGC that you're collecting. Tip number 3, use data from quizzes and reviews to personalize your communications. 40% of consumers have purchased something more expensive than planned because their experience was personalized. Personalization can drive a 10 to 15% increase in revenue. So really, really great strategy here. And given those stats, a big tip is to collect zero-party data to power personalized messaging. You can collect zero-party data by asking your customers for their attributes within reviews or surveys, and you can enable those post-checkout surveys when engagement is the highest. And you can also collect customer preferences with Okendo quizzes. Here is a case study from our client WAG, a natural dog treats brand. You can see that they're collecting information around dog breed, dog age, and eating habits. And they actually sent their customers tailored product recommendations based on that zero-party data. And just by doing that, they saw a 300% increase in placed order rate and a 423% increase in revenue per recipient. So that personalization strategy really does help drive increased sales. Last but not least, tip number 4, harness your superfans to acquire new shoppers. 37% of people are highly influenced to purchase based on family and friend recommendations. So we know recommendations really do work. Referrals convert 4 times higher than the average rate of all acquisition channels. So brands should look at generating referrals from existing customers. You can ask 5-star reviewers and net promoter score promoters to refer their friends and their family. A good strategy here is to offer incentives to both the referrer and the referral recipient, which encourages that new customer to try your product, but also increases your customer lifetime value from existing customers that come back to your store, they use that incentive, and they continue to build that loyalty with you. So I have a special offer for everyone on the webinar today. We're happy to give you your first 60 days of Okendo for free, and that extends to Okendo reviews, surveys, referrals, and quizzes. Valid offer until November 16th. Make sure to reach out to me over LinkedIn or in the chat if you want to claim your offer. And with that, I will hand it over to Adnan Shah from Rebuy. All right. Oh, we're looking at the wrong screen.
Can you hear me at least?
Yes, we can hear you.
So, all right, is that better?
Yep, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So as mentioned, my name is Adnan Shah. A little bit about me. I've been at Rebuy for about a year now. Prior to that, I was actually at Shopify and I was on the go-to-market teams and I kept hearing about Rebuy. And so I decided to check it out and it's been a year and it's been a great choice. So really quickly, just 2 actionable takeaways that I'd like the audience to have. So one is how much Rebuy has grown from, I think, that perception of a cross-sell and upsell tool to now being more of a merchandising and personalization platform. So I'm going to offer a ton of different solutions, and just a variety of that hopefully shows, kind of the breadth of our solutions now. The second, and it's a little bit salesy, please forgive me, but we just changed our pricing this month to release checkout extensions for free. So this is our way of kind of delivering value back to the Shopify Plus community. We've had the opportunity to grow with a lot of Shopify Plus brands. So now you can install checkout extensions for free, along with all the revenue generated from that. So if you're on Plus, we should definitely talk afterwards. Okay, so we are a quick kind of highlight of Rebuy. We're a Plus certified app, and we like to think of ourselves as a personalization engine. We want to transform the online store from a basic store to a store that creates intelligent, data-driven shopping experiences. So we provide a bunch of on-site solutions, which I'll go over. So these are going to be anything from homepage to checkout and post-purchase, as well as off-site solutions. So you can actually use Rebuy through email, through SMS, through order tracking pages. So we want to do that to be able to convert your shoppers into buyers, help your customers discover the right products at the right point in their shopping journey, buy more, and ultimately create experiences that excite them and that are relevant and retain them as customers. So that's ultimately our mission. How can we create the most intelligent shopping experiences for your customers in order to optimize for e-commerce KPIs like conversion rate, LTV, retention, and for us, AOV is always the name of the game. Okay, so very quick glance at our growth. Like Okendo, we are 8,000 brands plus strong. And I just want to quickly highlight, reviews do matter. We are a 4.9 star review on the Shopify App Store as well. So yeah, quickly being able to grow with Plus brands has been awesome. Okay, so today we're here to talk about how we can help how we can get customers to convert, and then how we can use that to further drive customer lifetime value and retention. So how do we actually help with conversion when it comes to Rebuy? So we want to be able to help personalize your merchandising strategy, create intelligent cross-sells and upsells, all in the effort of having a customer continue shopping with you and ultimately check out. But the power in that is in surfacing the best and the most relevant products to them. But how do you decide what the most relevant actually is? So you have to have the flexibility to offer whatever you think is best, surface whatever product recommendations that you think are best, and you need to be able to test these offers against each other so you can see what's working and you can iterate and improve. So the first part of this is I want to quickly highlight what we call our data sources and our custom rules. And this is what you can use to intelligently recommend products or offers that are tailored to whoever's seeing them. So you can use conditional logic, or you can use these custom rules to generate unique, specific recommendations. You can use customer or product tag rules, location rules, whatever you think. Or you can also just default to using our AI, or you can actually use both. So think of a situation where you might be recommending multiple products, 2 or 3 or 4, maybe a carousel. You can actually have a couple of them that are AI and 2 of them that are manually set. So you can really start to compare what's working and what's not. Now, the other side of this is going to be A/B testing. And this is an absolutely crucial aspect of being able to test what's working and what's not. We just launched this a few months ago to some very hungry customers, and they're now able to test which offers are performing best against which other offers. So you can test your AOV boosting strategies and see what's converting more than others, and then very quickly and easily deploy the best performing offers. So there's this beautiful marriage now between having a ton of flexibility and power in what types of offers and products you're surfacing, and then also being able to easily test what's actually converting. So now that we know what we want to actually offer and we know what's working, how can we actually deploy this across your on-site experience? So a couple of different places that I want to talk about. So one is our flyout. This is our smart cart, and this is a absolutely massive value driver for our top performing brands. Again, further than just cross sells and upsells, we want to be able to integrate with other players in the game. So being able to potentially pull in customer reviews with Okendo directly into the products that you're surfacing. And you can do all types of different offers in the cart. So you can do intelligent cross-sells or upsells, but you can also have discounts. We also have accelerated checkouts with ShopPay. You can even have like free shipping bars or make it gamified and offer things to keep like a buy more, save more type of solution. And we also integrate with one-page checkouts. So, or sorry, that's actually on the checkout page. Okay, so the next one, I just want to really quickly go over on the PDP. Obviously, we can do product offerings, but beyond that, it's like flexible merchandising. So I just wanted to highlight the dynamic bundling functionality here. This is where you can sell one-click bundles that are implemented as individually discounted items. So it's solving a big pain point for a lot of Shopify Plus brands. The caveat here is that you have to be a holdover and you're still using Shopify scripts. Okay, now I did talk about checkout in the beginning. So lastly, just another example of yet another place that you can deploy Rebuy. Again, as mentioned earlier, checkout extensions and all the revenue generated from this is free. The thinking here is that on the checkout page, you probably want to surface different products depending on your goals. So it could be offering like old or excess inventory at a discount. It could be offering something exclusive, or it could be like a fairly low ticket item. So I know for myself, for example, if I'm shopping at Nike, like if I'm in the store and I'm still shopping for shoes, I might have more shoes to add to the cart. But when I'm actually at checkout, maybe I'm just going to buy socks and accessories. So there's a different type of logic based on where they are in their customer journey. And as mentioned earlier, we also work with one-page checkouts. So a ton of different ways in terms of how we can actually help convert on that on-site experience. I also want to make sure that we're touching on customer lifetime value and retention. How can we help to drive repeat purchases and actually help you retain your customers? So one example is Magic Spoon. And this is a great example of what we call a reorder landing pages. And so when a customer clicks the CTA, they're actually taken to this page. And we're really encouraging repeat purchases here. Now, of course, this could be dependent on the types of products that you're sending, but we make it very, very easy by saving customers time and effort. We're bringing them directly to this page from that email. And as you can see, there's already the previous order directly in cart. You can even like apply discounts if need be. The other couple of things that I want to note on this page is you can actually surface additional product recommendations to boost the AOV for these repeat buyers who you've already gained trust with. You could even have like specific offers for specific repeat buyers. The other thing is you can see this arrow pointing to that upgrade to subscription and save button. You can turn a single reorder into a subscription order by offering repeat customers the opportunity to switch to a subscription. So we have really tight integrations with all the subscription players in the ecosystem. Okay, lastly, if that wasn't enough, you can also build links that open directly to the cart or even directly to the checkout. And this can, again, have specific products or offers already applied without any previous orders as well. So this is really, really good for tying your specific marketing campaigns with merchandising efforts. So if you have a marketing campaign where you're offering, or you have like the campaign is built around specific products or specific collections, you can now directly take the buyer to that product or collection, even in cart, with other products recommended around that. So this is more of a direct to like the buying experience. And again, we can start tying more of that merchandising to your marketing campaigns. So hopefully that was helpful. I know that's a lot of information, but hopefully that's going to be able to help you guys with converting, CLTV, and retention.
Thank you so much, Adnan. Awesome. And with that, I would love to bring up Greg onto the stage.
All right. Thank you, Adina. And awesome. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for your time today. So just real quick, in case you're unfamiliar with who Omnisend is, we're an email and SMS marketing platform. Integrations to all your major e-com platforms and partners like Okendo and such like that. So feel free to check us out, omnisend.com. Myself, it's crazy. I've been in email for nearly 20 years now and across a variety of roles, practitioner, consultant, analyst, and now I'm kind of doing this hybrid thing here. But I think the one thing we always look at, you hear email people talk about how good email is, and you hear other people talk about how good their thing is. And I think the one thing that we're seeing between Adina and Adnan today is these things don't live in silos, right? I love social proof. I love customer reviews. I love upgrades to checkout, but they all revolve around a customer experience, right? Improving it at all stages. And I think that's really the important thing to look at. Of course, I am going to talk about email and SMS today, but hopefully give you some practical and tactical things to do to make that experience better. So we're looking at SMS. If you're not doing it already, I think dare to say you're late to the game, but you're not too late. So jump on it, start collecting those mobile numbers now. But SMS, we're just seeing massive adoption. You can see the growth year over year. And this year, again, first half of the year, we're up almost 50% over the same period last year. And with email automations, this is something that has been constant for the last 15 years about how much revenue they drive or email orders they're driving from the automated side. I'm going to talk about that here in a minute, but you can see first half of this year, it's usually around 30-35% with about 3% of sends somewhere in that ballpark. And that jumped up the first half of this year to nearly 47% of all email marketing orders coming from automated messages, and it's a slow percentage of sends. There's a lot of reasons for that, but it's around the customer experience. It's about filling gaps and having these behavior-based automations sent off to people who are doing things like abandoning a shopping cart or browsing your website, but not carting products. So if you're not using these tools, they can help drive conversions. Of course, conversions are going to lead to retention, repeat customers. You can use these other tools in there as well. But ultimately, we want to drive conversions and then find ways to use email and SMS to make that purchase experience and post-customer experience a little bit better. So email automation, I'll say this, you don't have to study this chart. It's not the prettiest chart in the world, but it's effective if you just look at the very top line there. These are your scheduled email campaigns. You're looking at a conversion rate of 0.07% in the first half of this year. That's pretty consistent, 0.07, 0.08. The worst email marketing or the worst email automation performance of any message here is going to be better than a scheduled message out because they are relevant, because they're self-segmented. I always like to say automation is kind of the new segmentation there because they're one-off messages going. So we talk about retention, we talk about converting people. So welcome messages, right? Customer signs up or shopper signs up to get a welcome message. There's a lot of intent there to purchase. Browse and product abandonment, a lot of intent to purchase there. Shopping cart, of course, a lot of intent to purchase there. So when you're looking at putting marketing automation and email automation into your strategy, I always say focus on where that high intent is coming from, right? So welcome, cart cart abandonment, and browse / product abandonment. Those are the three that I would absolutely have every company do. Those things are going to be the lifeline for your program. And by the way, those three messages themselves, they make up 87% of all email marketing, automated email marketing orders. So they're huge there. But the one thing you can see here is post-purchase messaging. And this is where we have things like, we collect product reviews, but post-purchase is about making that experience better. So recipes, how-to, product care instructions. It's an easy place to do subtle or very in-your-face cross-sells as well because you have that purchase data there. So use email automation as best you can, but always focus if you're looking for where to start or where to optimize, focus on customer intent there. And then if we move to SMS as well, we see, of course, you saw the massive lift in sends, but there's so many ways to use SMS from not only a sales perspective, but a customer experience perspective and a retention perspective. So you can use it to drive people toward email. Hey, Black Friday is coming up, right? We're approaching Q4. So, hey, check out the email for these things. You want to cross-pollinate your SMS and email because we're collecting that same data together. But also think about where we can use it from an automation standpoint. And the obvious thing is transactional messages, order confirmations, shipping confirmations, right? We can use those via SMS. I got about 4 of them here that I've got an order being delivered today. I've got 2 more coming tomorrow, and I'm getting these. And it's, they're small text, but they improve that customer experience. And the better that experience, the more reviews you're going to be able to collect. And the more reviews you collect, the more you can embed them onto your website and you put them inside your email marketing efforts themselves. And the one thing that we rarely look at with SMS, people look at it and say it's 2 different channels. Yeah, we can do it here. Think about those email unsubscribes. Right? We spend all this time getting these email addresses, and then people are going to inevitably unsubscribe. I love unsubscribes. Get them off my list if you don't want to get the messages. But some people, realize that email is not their jam, but SMS is. And that's the place where we're unifying this data together. And typically, if someone unsubscribes, then you're doing paid social retargeting. Sending an SMS is a lot cheaper, but again, we're keeping that data together. So think about all the use cases for SMS and how it ties together with email and how we use that to provide a better customer experience. Just quickly before I kind of wrap up here, a couple things we can do for retention. Again, look at those transactional messages, look at back in stock products. We know they're customer favorites. Look at using product star ratings and things and testimonials inside your SMS messages there as well. And then once you unlock all these features and you unlock all the ability, is where you can start taking it to the next level. So we've got purchase history, we have channels, we have, all this data for if you're bending a shopping cart, we know the cart totals in there. So think about how we use the automation to separate and differentiate that customer purchase experience. So if I abandon a shopping cart or I abandon a product, knowing whether I'm a first-time customer, I'm coming back for a second purchase, I'm a loyal customer, you can completely tweak your automation to change channels, how many messages, timing of messages, offers, if you want to make offers, all those things by simple pieces of data. And we can incorporate all the things that everyone's talked about so far into them. So automation doesn't have to be static. It doesn't have to be basic. It's a good place to start, but then you can make it as sophisticated and customer specific as you want. Then ultimately, you can then use your segments that are either pre-built or you build your own segments to make that experience better. And here's just an example of a post-purchase cross-sell, right? It's Molly Mutt couch covers. This is a how-to message, but they've got small upsells in there in the message as well. So subtle ways to do things that pay large dividends, makes the experience better. And once you integrate all these things together, you've got a program that is just off and running. So think about post-purchase messaging and where all these things come in there. So high level, quick, we're going to move on though. But if you have any questions, my email address is right here. Feel free to reach out to me and obviously use the Q&A there. So Adina, I'm going to kick it back to you and hopefully that was good.
Thank you so much, Greg. And Blake, I'd love to bring you on the stage.
Yeah, great. That was awesome. Speaking directly to my SMS loving heart. So really good stuff, man. Hi, friends. My name is Blake and Pearl. I'm the VP of Marketing at Carro. I'm a former D2C operator myself, turned B2B marketer. I also host a D2C podcast called 2% the Podcast, which focuses weekly on just educating the community on how we can grow our stores by 2% every day. On that note, I'm talking about one of my favorite growth strategies for D2C that you can implement alongside literally everything that we're talking about today, and that is collaborative commerce. So two things I want you to walk away with. First, how is collaborative commerce a risk-free way to grow average order value and also customer lifetime value? And then talk about actionable strategy to put it all together that you can take back to your own store. TLDR of Carro, we're on a mission to just democratize collaborative commerce for everyone. We seamlessly connect over 28,000 D2C brands to a network of 1.6 million premium products at this point, valued at a catalog of over $7 billion and growing. We also give you access to up to 85 million unique shoppers in our ecosystem, unlocking a ton of acquisition plays, but also AOV growth and all that good stuff. We're the only collaborative commerce platform to be Shopify Plus certified, and we're trusted by Shopify's best brands like Blendjet, Super 73, Joy, and a lot more. So it's becoming more important every day that we really squeeze the most out of every customer to make them profitable. Over the last 5 years in D2C, I think I was reading a stat recently that acquisition costs have gone up by 60%. This means for brands that they're no longer profitable on the first sale sometimes, and meaning that we really need to think about strategies to increase cart value. Adnan was talking a lot about that with Rebuy, but also thinking about complementary offerings and how do you get a customer to add more to their cart. So customers love your hero products, and also they're willing to buy more things that you offer if they're curated into the lifestyle that your brand is selling. And chances are they're probably buying these products elsewhere. For example, if you sell blenders, why wouldn't you want to sell all the ingredients that go into that blender? You see this Blendjet example, their AOV is about $50 on average. And all of these complementary products that go into Blendjet, like the protein powders, the milks, the fruit that goes into it, customers are buying these on Amazon, Walmart, they're going to Whole Foods or the local grocery store, and that's a lot of AOV loss for Blendjet. And also the data shows that customers will be willing to buy these products if brands offer them. So the question is, why aren't more brands doing this? There's a few reasons. First, starting at the top, it's an inventory and logistics nightmare oftentimes. In the case of Blendjet, shipping perishable goods across the country can be a logistical nightmare. And they're in the business of selling blenders, not frozen goods or perishable items. And moreover, too, warehouse space can be incredibly expensive as you scale, requiring people and also just a lot of time and money invested. Additionally, making your products on your own is not viable to every brand. It's expensive, it's time intensive, and it also can detract from your hero product offerings. With BlendJet, they know that customers want to use name brand products that they already trust and love, like Oatly, Soylent, Tenzo, etc. And there's no reason to have a BlendJet oat milk. Or take Suit Shop, a brand that we work with. They make suits, but they don't want to make all the accessories that go with it, but they really want to offer premium products to their customers. So you might think, oh, let's go partner with brands, or let's look at wholesale as a logical answer. And that's, honestly, it's a good strategy sometimes, but striking partnerships with brands can be challenging too. You have to go off and negotiate individual deals. You have to have order minimums, all the things that can become logistical pain in the ass, for lack of a better word. And also syncing the storefront to have up-to-date inventory across Shopify or other platforms to give a native experience to your customers can be a little bit of a nightmare as well. So suddenly your idea to grow AOV, grow subscriptions, lifetime value, become a huge challenge, honestly. But it really doesn't have to be that way. This is where collaborative commerce can really shine. So within a few clicks, you can go from what you see on the left to what you see on the right without any of those headaches that I just outlined. So we power collaborative commerce here at Carro, enabling you to sell more together with all of e-commerce without any of those logistical kind of headaches that I just talked about. And our customers are seeing on average about a 3.5x revenue increase, 80% AOV lift, and about a 3x growth in their catalog size compared to some of those other conventional ways of growing their catalog. And we also give you all the tools to form brand partnerships in just a few clicks and sync that natively to your Shopify store. So there's a couple of ways that brands are using Carro as a retailer. You just simply plug into a network. You can partner with complementary brands. Again, I mentioned over 28,000 brands that you have at your disposal. And you can strike out these partnerships and really in a few clicks, sync that product back to your store for that native experience. For example, say you're a makeup brand and you want to sell makeup brushes or makeup wipes. Carro's got you covered on that. Or say you sell baby clothes and you want to sell baby shoes, for example. Carro, again, has you covered. There's literally a pairing for every single brand. Adnan was just talking about the power of Rebuy with AOV growth, for example, and Carro is a great way if you don't have products to actually sell or you want to test out other products to really test and find that product market fit without having to invest in that product. And then when a sale occurs, you simply just split the profit with the supplier. The supplier fulfills that order just like any other order, and you handle none of that inventory or logistics overhead. So the other side of this, a supplier, this is also highly advantageous because you get to make your products available to the network and choose who you partner with, whether that's retailers or marketplaces. And this is literally free awareness for your brand. It's also an entirely new acquisition channel for you too. So I like to call this like the ultimate lookalike audience. So in the case of BlendJet, for one of their partners, Soylent, they actually are in a really good spot because they're right in front of their ideal customers who also have their credit card out ready to buy stuff. When they're buying that BlendJet blender, they're able to see, hey, I can add Soylent to my cart, great brand awareness, but also to being able to acquire that customer. There aren't many channels out there today that are going to give you this level of access to qualified shoppers ready to buy. And also too, I like to say that this is a really efficient way to think about acquisition rather than trying to sandwich your brand's ads between dog photos on Meta, for example. You can do both also. BlendJet does both. So not only do they retail products in their marketplace, but they also realize that they could be supplying their blenders in other websites. So like Joy Plant Milk, for example, they're able to expose BlendJet to all of Joy's customers and do co-marketing with them from the website through email, SMS, all that cool stuff. And the best part too is that literally there's opportunities for every brand. As I mentioned, 28,000 brands for you to look at and partner with. Whether you want to add products to your own store, get your products in other stores, or do both, there's plenty of opportunities in the Carro network for you. So I've just talked a lot about BlendJet and what they were doing, but some of the stats of what they've actually seen. So they've been able to partner with over 35 brands like Soylent, Oatly, Happy Viking, etc. And they've been able to go from a hero product company with no recurring subscription revenue to an entire one-stop shop marketplace without any of those logistical or kind of inventory headaches. They've had an 80% increase with Carro orders and a 71% increase in their customer lifetime value since working with us. I recommend you go to blendjet.com, check out their marketplace to see how seamless it looks on their Shopify storefront. It's a really cool example of how it all comes together. Also, just another example of what collaborative commerce can unlock for you. This is Paceline. They're a customer that works with us. They're a fitness app and a credit card reward portal. So users basically exercise and then they earn points that they can go spend in the Paceline marketplace. And Carro is powering all the products that go into the Paceline marketplace. So this is really cool because they're curating this kind of a marketplace of lifestyle products. And for the brands that align with Paceline, they can then actually add those products to the Paceline marketplace. It's a new acquisition channel for them and awareness play for them too. And there are plenty of examples like this of brands that we work with that open up a lot of these supplier opportunities for brands in our network. So this is really great for brands like Health-Ade or Soylent, actually just to get in front of shoppers and acquire new customers without spending any money on marketing. So I just mentioned a lot, but if there's anything that you take away from what I just said, collaborative commerce is really a great way to get customers to convert more often at higher cart values, and also to open up a new creative acquisition channel for your brand. So if anyone's interested in learning more about Carro and the 1.6 million products that we offer in our network, you can get started at getcarro.com for a free trial over there, or you can actually just drop your email in the chat, reach out to me on LinkedIn if you want more information. Hope to hear from you, and thanks everyone, appreciate it.
Thank you, Blake. All right. And with that, John, do you want to come up on the stage?
I would love to. What a masterclass of 10 minutes, Blake. That was a great presentation. Hi, everyone. I hope we're having a nice end of the week. I'm happy to be here today. As Dina mentioned earlier in the presentation, my name is John Nutt. I'm the Senior Tech Partner Manager at Tapcart. We're going to dive right in because time is of the essence. So if you're not familiar, Tapcart is the leading mobile commerce solution for Shopify and Shopify Plus brands. We've circled our wagons around the Shopify ecosystem. Many of our partners are on the call today. We help brands launch a new revenue channel in the form of a dedicated mobile app. So if you're LSKD or True Classic, or Glamnetic, which we'll talk about here shortly, we help you get real estate on everyone's mobile phone, right? Which is the most valuable real estate that there is. And so when we think about some of the brands that we work with, many of which I'm sure you've shopped with today, I'm excited to give you some insight into how these brands are driving not only conversions, but like lifetime value through having a dedicated mobile app. So just to set the table a little bit, the trend towards mobile is something that I think we've been talking about for the past 7 or 8 years, maybe longer, but pretty staggering when you look at these numbers in terms of the total worldwide mobile users, an insane amount of increase over this past several years, the total mobile commerce spend increasing almost twofold, and then the amount of time that we sadly spend in apps versus browsers has gone up as well. And this is not terribly surprising, but think about how many apps that you've used today, right? I flew in from LA yesterday. That was my American Airlines app. I used my Spotify app, my Shopify app. I used an Equinox app to get into the gym. And so why are we relying on mobile browser experiences for customers to be shopping in when everything else is optimized for that in-app native experience that's just going to be intuitive, and it's going to be a stickier place for customers to be, right? And this is where your customers are, right? We're seeing that on average, and I've had 3 conversations today that have confirmed this. Almost 80% or more of e-commerce traffic is coming from a mobile device, right? That's a wild stat, and I think this is what really creates the urgency and why a lot of brands are making a dedicated mobile app a priority. Is because, frankly, your customers are already shopping on mobile. You want to make sure that that experience is one that's going to get folks to convert time and time again. So kind of zooming out, the mobile shopping experience on a browser, I think we've all been in this position before. We're excited to buy something, and then we get to the dreaded 30 form fields that we have to fill out, right? You're typing in your address for the 18th time in the past month. It's oftentimes not, optimized for mobile. Oftentimes you might even abandon that cart because you have, 100 other things going on. So that leads to a pretty low converting rate. Again, this is the 80% of your customers, and oftentimes they're having this kind of an experience, right? And so the other side, the future state, is that having a dedicated mobile app like Princess Polly here, you have a spot that is dedicated to this kind of customer. It's another cog on the owned marketing flywheel, right? Greg talked about how email and SMS is like the foundation of your customer communications. And honestly, your dedicated mobile app is that third prong, right? Push notifications are an owned channel. So you're relying less on customers to come to you from other channels, come to you from paid channels that have gotten increasingly more and more expensive. And you have push notifications to control customer behavior and to get them back into the app time and time again. It's really about incrementality, right? You're taking your top 30% of your customers, those that are your most loyal customers, and you're getting more from those customers, right? You're converting them more often because you're able to bring them back into the app time and time again. just a little look at some of that incrementality that I talked about, right? This is a little bit of behind the curtain that we actually don't show very often, but I think it's pretty powerful to show here, is that the way that we get to our estimated ROI, and this tends to be pretty on the nose, is that we look at the total number of web sessions that you have, and we say we can confidently bring over X amount of those customers into the app. And once we do so, here's what we're going to see. We're going to see a 3x increase in sessions, right? So those customers are coming back 3 times more than they normally would. They're converting 50% higher than they were on web. And you're also able to see that AOV increase as well, right? So if you look at the incremental sales opportunity, right, this is where it gets really exciting, is that you're able to have you can ignore the ROI number, right? That's something that you can consider. But the year one lift to brand sales being almost 20%, like that's a meaningful impact to your bottom line, and one that our customers are pretty excited about. So I want to talk through a customer in particular. This is an Okendo customer, Glamnetic. I think they have a very interesting product. So I don't know if anyone on the call has, I'm sure most of the women have, but if you've ever put on false eyelashes with Duo, you know that like taking these eyelashes off is incredibly painful. It's messy, it's not fun, but it's also like necessary evil if you want to have these kind of glam eyelashes. And so Glamnetic came out with a magnetic eyelash that you can actually remove after use. So incredibly less messy, less painful. I don't know, very, very cool product. They've obviously expanded into press-on nails and some other items as well. But they were looking to take their community, right? Because all of these beauty brands, they do have a cult following, they have a community, and they're looking to drive them to a stickier channel where they could really foster a sense of community, and they could have a place that really acts as like their hub, if you will. And so I wanted to highlight a few of the things that they're doing really well that have driven their success. And I think this is the dedicated mobile app through Tapcart is now their 2nd or 3rd highest revenue channel just within the past year. So one thing they're doing really well is deep linking directly to specific products. You can do this across email, you can do this across SMS, but you definitely want to do it across push as well. Because think about that, I'm pushing on one push notification, and now I'm inside looking at the exact product that I'm looking to purchase. That's going to lead to that frictionless discovery and ultimately lead to that higher conversion rate. You're having the social proof through Okendo reviews right on the PDP page. As Adina mentioned earlier, 99.9, which is an insane percentage of folks are looking at reviews online. You want to make sure that you have that social proof, that UGC, that content that you've had generated by customers right there in line to help create urgency and lead to a higher conversion rate. I mean, lastly, you want an optimized experience, especially when it comes to how you're paying for products, to remove friction and to ultimately drive conversion as well. So this is just a little snapshot of the value that we see from customers that are able to bring the value of all the solutions we've talked about today, from Rebuy to Okendo and to others, into one experience, because ultimately Tapcart and your dedicated mobile app is an extension of your brand, right? And so you want to make sure that experience is consistent across, and you have that parity in terms of the user experience. Here's a couple examples of what push notifications look like. These are different campaigns using some of the great tips that Greg walked through earlier in terms of creating urgency around campaigns that are ending soon or promotions that are ending soon. Obviously, if you're using an Omnisend or a Klaviyo, you can certainly manage all of your automated messages for push through those channels as well. And then lastly, just to kind of bring it all together, ultimately, if you take away one thing, it's that Tapcart is able to drive more conversions than mobile web, right? That 80% of customers that are already shopping there. And you're able to have these customers be stickier over time and drive more customer lifetime value even further than Black Friday, although that's very top of mind for all of us right now. So if you want to learn a bit more, please feel free to hop your email into the chat, reach out to me on LinkedIn, or go to tapcart.com as well. Thanks so much. Appreciate it.
Thanks, John. Great presentation. All right. Up next, we have Gabriella.
Hi, guys. Great job to everyone that has gone so far. Hoping everyone can see my screen. Yes? Great. So today, I'll be talking a little bit about what happens after the holiday season and how we want to really take those consumers that came through holidays, through gifting, through an uptick in ads, and get them to be that lifetime customer. I think everything that we've talked about today is super relevant for the next couple of months, but then how do we really leverage that for 2024? So Smartrr, for those of you that don't know, is a subscription platform that offers subscription billing, loyalty, rewards, referrals, and analytics for Shopify brands so that we can tie together the full life cycle of a consumer and really bring together not just the consumer to purchase, but the consumer to purchase a subscription, to become a lifelong member of your community, to then refer their friends and family to your products. And we've seen that single thread has been really effective for our brands. Specifically today, I'll walk through Armra, one of our favorite brands, as someone who just came off of a 1 to 2 week COVID stint. I have to say, fuel your immunity systems, people. We're in for a wild season, I think. So definitely recommend Armra to everyone. But jokes aside, I think one opportunity that we see, and we saw really significantly last year impact our brands, Q1 and Q2 especially, was taking that holiday season, right? We're gifting, we're referring, we're tweeting, and converting that into someone being a subscriber long-term. Health products happen to be a wonderful category for replenishable goods because you are taking them daily, you are engaging with the product on a regular basis, you have a schedule, and also you're able to interact with that brand. You might be talking to a nutritionist from the brand. That's one of many examples, obviously. But the main thing that we want to focus on is we know that people are eager for routines. We know that there are resolutions that people make around the new year, and we want to take that and bring it into a habit. One thing that we have seen be really impactful for our consumers and the brands, obviously most importantly, you all, is how we bring a product and develop a community around that product. Some brands are able to do it easier than others. Obviously, if you have a celebrity endorsing your product, for example, you have a community that is built in from day one. But there are ways for every brand to create a community similarly. One thing that we've done is created a more unique membership experience. So, for example, taking advantage of options like early drops. So members receive early drops of products, or a special limited time pricing, or maybe swag that is only given to your members, your subscribers, your community, but not just the one-time buyer. We want to convert those people that are buying off the cuff, maybe once during the holiday season, and to really get them engaged in the community. Another area for that is loyalty, which I'll speak to in a moment. The main thing here is, in addition to those VIP experiences and the perks that come with this account portal, is actually just simplifying the process to get them logged in. So we offer options like smart links, where it'll directly log you into your customer account portal, passwordless login. I can name a couple others as well, but we'll save that if anyone wants to talk one-on-one. The point is, we want to make it really easy for people to actually log in and manage their one-time purchase and subscription. We do offer both. Specifically on the note of loyalty, we found after several months of deploying our subscription app that really what was keeping the account portal super active for our brand was that concept of loyalty. So it's gamification, it's incentivizing people with points, it's incentivizing them with freebies, birthday gifts, anniversary gifts, and that's something that we did build in-house as well. So Armra, in this example showcased below, you'll see they offer 5% off for 2,000 points, but a more lucrative present after you hit certain milestones. Tiered offerings are something that we see really popular with our brands right now as well. So this is definitely highly, highly recommended for holiday season. Most specifically, I will say one thing we saw last year was the idea of actually giving points for gift giving. So if I give Blake a subscription for 6 months to Armra, I'm actually generating points, and he is as well. Happy to talk more with anyone about how we can gamify the gift giving during holiday season. Notably, I will say Armra is crushing it. They have a wonderful product. We are lucky enough to be partners with them, and they have seen tremendous growth. Happy to talk to anyone one-on-one on some of the ways that Armor and our other brands have seen that growth. And happy to, again, chat more. 2 free months, copying some of our friends earlier in the session, Okendo, but 2 free months. If you wanted to get started with Smartrr, happy to talk directly. Feel free to email me, LinkedIn message, or reach out to anyone on the team. But thank you so much. And Adina, I'll pass it back to you.
Thanks, Gabriella. Great presentation. Last but not least, Brittany, I'll have you join. I will mention time is flying. We have 8 minutes left of the webinar, so we'll try to get as much in as we can in the next 8 minutes.
Thanks, Adina. Hi, everybody. My name is Brittany, VP of Accounts here with ShoppingGives. Also, fun fact, I formerly also worked with Adina at Mute 6, so hey, gal. I'll breeze right through. I promise it should take no more than 5 minutes. So what do we do? ShoppingGives really works with commerce brands to launch, scale, and optimize their charitable giving strategies through our tech stack. We do have a Shopify app, but we are pretty agnostic to all other CMS platforms as well. These are some of our wonderful retail partners and other merchants that we work with to drive their impact giving efforts across retail as well as D2C. Some of the ways that we can help our merchants engage and create customer experiences is through store donations on purchase, again, through retail sales or through e-com. We can also incentivize capsule collections and donating product level donations with different specific causes. We can also enable merchants to do a roundup giving at checkout, as well as enable customers to add on donations of their own. So ShoppingGives here, we love to lead with impact to be able to create these engaging customer experiences. How do we do that? We know personalization does drive conversion rate. And we always tell our merchants that ways that you can kind of test is to A/B test our widget, integrate it natively into your website. And you can also A/B test the messaging and also the placement of the widget to see if that will really drive conversion rate or not. We also can layer on a brand's customer file with our impact graph to understand different cause affinities and understand additional insights for them to be actionable. We can also target impact audiences for better targeting for brands to really create and personalize that content across their entire marketing funnel. In terms of personalization with email flows, I always kind of love to tell the brand that, this is for the welcome series email. It's the first initial contact with their customers to be able to spotlight their impact program, how it works, and why some of these causes matter to the brand. And additionally, we can also have consumers opt in and select a nonprofit to give back to as well. We do have an integration with Klaviyo to be able to capture cause preferences based on what they were historically giving back to. And so we have an opportunity to re-engage customers through their email and SMS to display causes based on what they have supported historically. Other ways to drive conversion rate is through cart abandonment and post-purchase, and really encouraging customers to add on based on historical behaviors. With paid media, we can also lead with impact and retarget ads to highlight causes that they have given to in the past, or enabling customers to be able to choose a cause or celebrate an impact milestone, and again, encouraging add-ons through another channel. And last but not least, we do have an integration with Yotpo that can enable a loyalty program to reward your customers and give them an opportunity to redeem their points for donations or encourage opt-ins to donations for points as well. So these are just some of the ways that we can really personalize the content throughout your entire marketing funnel, and to lead with impact. This is a case study on one of our partners, Notori. They have already set featured causes that they support, but they also wanted to kind of give more flexibility to their customers and to adapt to causes as they arise in real time. So they had activated store donation on purchase, also enabling customers to choose their own nonprofits as well. Again, that's giving them flexibility to the customers. As a result, they have activated this content and campaign across their Facebook, Instagram, and email. And we did see an exponential increase in ROAS, as well as in conversion rate, and overall, ultimately, an increase in growth revenue. that concludes our presentation. Feel free to find me on LinkedIn or give me a shout out on email. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thanks, Brittany. I think that broke the record for fastest presentation today. Thank you everyone for joining. That concludes our webinar. I'd like to say thank you to each of our amazing speakers for sharing their insights. And thank you to everyone who joined today. We'll be sending out the recording in the next day. And if you have any other questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me or any of the other speakers. All right. Hope everyone has a great rest of their day and see you soon. Bye.